It's a fantastic framework for this this type of planning problem.
From nurses to pigeons, basically.
Yeah. So because before Timefold, we were planning everything in a huge Excel file. So this is all automatic now, and it's a huge win for our team. They need to spend a lot less time at their desk, and they're really happy with that.
Because they like walking around here between...
Of course, they hate sitting at their desk.
Welcome to another episode of Timefold in the Wild. Today we're here in Pigeon Paradise and we're going to talk about pigeon breeding optimization, and it's a very unique planning problem. I'm here with Erwin de Vylder.
Hello.
Hey. So Pigeon Paradise, what do you guys do?
So as the name says, we're dealing with pigeons, racing pigeons specifically. It's very niche. So it all started back in 2000. When our founder started a website about pigeon racing. But then our founder was looking for ways to make some money out of it. And he started with advertisements, but that does not generate a sustainable income. And he decided to try and sell pigeons online, which was a crazy thing back then because people were saying, yeah, but you need to feel a pigeon, you need to feel the muscles to assess its quality. But we've proven that with good pictures and a good description and good documentation, it's possible to sell pigeons online. And nowadays, it's become our main activity even.
It's a little bit like what we see here, right? So how much does a pigeon like this cost?
On average, a pigeon we sell is about 2,500 euros.
Whoa.
But sometimes the market goes crazy, and if you have two bidders from China who are bidding against each other on a really special pigeon, it can get crazy. The most expensive one was 1.6 million euros.
More than $1 million for...
Yes, for one single pigeon. Yeah.
Okay, and they race from A to B, basically.
Yes.
Or you breed with them. Do you do?
Of course, the pigeons we sell, they won't race. Because a pigeon always returns to its home. So the pigeons we sell, they go to the buyer, and the buyer will use them for breeding.
Yeah. Okay.
And the youngsters will then race.
So it's the quality of the genes actually that matter for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so what do you do here in Pigeon Paradise?
At PiPa, I'm responsible for IT, so I'm the CIO. We work with a smallish team of about 3 people. Who work part-time. So that gives me the opportunity to dive into the code myself as well, next to strategic work.
Nice. And so you basically create a database, if I understand it, for all of these pigeons, and you do all of the IT around that and keep track of everything?
Yeah, so our main channel is our website. It's an auction website. We auction the pigeons online. This is our main channel, but our IT is much wider than that. So you need to have a back office, an ERP system. Everything needs to run very smooth because we sell 5,000-6,000 pigeons every year.
5,000-6,000 pigeons every year?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you can save a minute of work per pigeon, that's 2 weeks each year. So it adds up very quickly.
A lot of logistics, right?
We sell to many countries. We also breed our own pigeons. It all started with auctioning pigeons, but at a certain point we decided to not ship all those extremely good pigeons to China, Taiwan, and countries far away. We're world famous in Belgium for pigeon racing. So we decided to keep a lot of that DNA here in Belgium and to buy some exclusive pigeons and build up our own strain. And you buy those exclusive pigeons, you breed with them, and then you can sell the youngsters. Again, through our own sales channels, our website.
That sounds simple. You just take some pigeons, you put them together, and then there's kids, and that's basically your business? Is that simple?
Very basic pigeon breeding is indeed that simple. You take a male pigeon and you take a female pigeon, you put them together in a box. Yeah. If they like each other, they mate. Yeah. The female, she will lay 2 eggs. The couple, they will breed the eggs, both the father and mother, they both breed on the eggs, and after a while the eggs hatch, and they will bring up the youngsters, and within a week or 7 you have 2 youngsters.
Yes.
That is very basic pigeon breeding, but of course we're talking expensive breeding pigeons here. You need to think price range German luxury car very often.
Like these, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you want to maximize the output of those expensive pigeons you bought. You want to have more than a few youngsters each year, while maintaining quality, of course. So there are a few tricks up our sleeve to increase the pace of breeding. And one trick we utilize is foster breeding. So we have a foster parent. How does this work? You make two couples.
Yes.
You make a couple with your expensive breeding pigeons, and at the same time you make a couple with less expensive, normal pigeons. And you couple them at the same time, and they will mate at the same time. Both hens will lay eggs at the same time. And this is where the magic happens. You throw away the eggs of the less expensive couple, and you take the eggs of the expensive couple, and you put them with the less expensive couple. Yeah. And the less expensive couple, they will bring up the eggs as if it were their own. Yeah. And because the expensive couple doesn't have any youngsters to bring up, they start another round of eggs much more quickly.
Yeah, okay. You have natural breeding, you have foster parent breeding. Are there other types?
Yes, we also use stallion breeding, which is very similar to what happens with horses or cows, the cattle. Yeah. What you do with stallion breeding is that you take a male pigeon and you put the male pigeon with a female pigeon in a box for just a day, and then the next day in another box and in another box. Yeah. So a single male is actually breeding with multiple females at the same time. Of course, taking into account that you do not put the pace too high because otherwise it might impact quality.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that's yet another type of breeding. And we define some breeding systems we use. We have a handful, more than the three we talked about. Yeah. And we define that in those breeding systems, the breeding has a certain duration. There is a certain duration that you can't use the father or the mother or the box they live in for another round. Yeah. So then we're getting to our planning problem. Yes. So because before Timefold, we were planning everything in a huge Excel file. Yes. Basically, in the Excel file, you had one row per round, and then a column with the father and the mother and things like that. Yeah. This all works well if you plan linearly, if you plan round by round, and it all works. But the breeding pace is different for the male pigeon than for the female pigeon.
Especially for the stallion case.
Especially in stallion cases. So you need to take that into account, which is already not that easy in Excel. And then you receive an order from a client who says, I want some pigeons by that date from these and these pigeons. Oh. And you need to put them in the planning, and
the entire plan changes.
The entire planning changes.
Oh, okay, real planning basically, right? Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and also a change in a single round. If you put a single round a bit later in the planning, it has impact on other rounds with the same male, and it also has impact on other rounds with the same female, and the amount of physical capacity where you have boxes where two pigeons can breed is also limited. So you need to take that into account. It's a mess.
How do you integrate Timefold with your technologies?
Yeah, so we decided to replace the Excel file with a web application. The web application is used by the people who work with the pigeons. They have a tablet with them. They scan an NFC tag. The NFC tag tells the application which is the physical location they are in. And they immediately get a grid on their screen with the breeding boxes in the location they're standing, and which pigeons are maybe already in those boxes. And if there's an empty box, they can push a button and pick a round from the planning and start it in that box. And they can also start a round ad hoc. They sometimes they don't plan ahead and they say, okay, I want to breed with these two pigeons. I put them in a box. They can also do that. They start a round immediately. And of course, it needs to get sent to Timefold, because it might impact rounds in the planning.
So people don't always follow the plan, right? They
exactly
make manual changes.
Yeah.
The automatic planning might not have all of the constraints, or might not have all of the knowledge or the gut feeling of the people around.
The automatic planning, for example, doesn't know whether two pigeons will like each other. You may put A and B together in a box, and the next morning you find A and C together in a box.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This happens all the time. Yeah.
What do you like about Timefold?
It's a fantastic framework for this type of planning problem. So many things you don't need to think about. You just need to find a model and implement your constraints and integrate it with your system. But the actual planning is done for you. Of course, you need some optimizations left and right, but it solves so many of your problem.
Thank you. That's great to hear. Yeah. And I also remember you worked a little bit together with our partner OptaZen on.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not Java guys or Python guys. We develop web applications in Drupal, PHP, things like that. So it's an entirely new world to us. But I thought, let's give it a try. And one of our freelancers, Paul van Bezien, he started working from one of the examples in the Timefold documentation, and he worked from there. Started from a classical nurse scheduling problem, I think it was, and he adapted to implement our pigeon planning problem or breeding planning problem.
From nurses to pigeons, basically.
Yeah, it was trying a lot of things which were not allowed by hard constraints, and then it wasn't just grinding to a halt. And we saw that we weren't going to do this ourselves. So we looked for help. We found help with Simon Tiffert from OptaZen. Yes. And he was a great coach. He helped us guide in the right direction and implement it correctly so that the model only chooses from viable options and you don't hit a constraint that says you can't do this. Things like that. So he was a great help.
And that way you got a good solution quickly.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you very much, Erwin, for having us here. This is a very interesting operations you have already here.
You're welcome. And thank you for this fantastic software.